not to stay on the McCree. It would be interesting if he did, but he will be covering the Zarya role, which seems to be a much more common thing for these flex tanks this season, which is where they do swap over to that Zarya. Young and Beautiful, on the other hand, they're playing the free, so I think a lot of the win condition for them here is make sure they take a fast fight with Team Gigantti. They don't want to allow time for Davin to build up to that EMP and or just take pokes. So they've got to make sure they take advantage of the speed of this fight.
Well, the EMP is inevitable for Davin. He will definitely get it at some point. It's about how they can deflect it when it comes around. Milky Man being surrounded, bullied almost by Young and Beautiful as they're pushed off the point. They're still building towards that ult charge. This is going slow, Blank. This is the exact opposite of what they want to happen. Gigantti have lost control at this point as well. Young and Beautiful will get that first cap.
It's okay, because they did get the cap right, and now they can start to accrue percentage, even if they don't take that fight early. But like you said, Tridd, it is inevitable that EMP will come online at some point. So what you need to do is make sure you have those ultimates available. And already Huni, 86% towards that Transcendence, that primary ultimate for defending against the EMP, already almost online.
You better have that little finger ready to slap that Q. If he misses out on the EMP opportunity, he could be going down. His team will also follow him. But Davin's got it online for us to translocate him into the back line. Hits.
He's got it!
Only Crown Dropper and FD God, but Huni comes out with that Transcendence to sustain everyone up. Team Gigantti have thrown all the ults at the wall. They've thrown in the Nano Boost and the Shatter. The Counter Shatter coming in from Crown Drop, won't find anyone. Lilbo's about to get beat online, but it's more importantly the grab from Zappis used on cooldown to pull Yickwids in. And Huni will be picked up on the back line by Davin as they move onto the point and start to press the issue against Young and Beautiful, trying to take it away until Yickwids brings it back with a Rocket Flare Whip kill. But I'm looking at the health bars, and it's all going in the favor of Team Gigantti for the time being.
Insane mid-hack from Davin now onto FD God actually cancels out the sound barrier, so Young and Beautiful were hoping to take a recontest on this point here. Now they lose a crucial ultimate coming to the next fight to force that one. And look at Davin, already almost towards that EMP, and now there's no sound barrier to hide behind.
Not just Davin, Milky Man, and Zappe as well. Getting close to those ultimates to have those available for the next fight. And you're looking towards Young and Beautiful, it's just Morph with the self-destruct.
This is a very easy win condition here for Team Gigantti coming to the next fight. It's just your EMP, and then you can anti-nade on top of that. And should Milky Man want to drop down the hammer, it's very free if Davin can catch out Krandop. So this next fight is going to be... I hope that Team Gigantti take it slow and try and milk out as much point pressure as possible.
Young and Beautiful trying to create some chaos with the bomb. They're going to be hacked out afterwards, so they're not going to have much follow-up on this one. Krandop's having his healing denied, and Zappe will then pick up the kill after the Bionade as well. The Nano Boost, just the icing on the cake for Team Gigantti, but they maintain control and they're starting to contest towards the benchmark set by Yab.
Seems a bit of an overcommit to me, actually, from Team Gigantti there, as they use free ultimates. Really, you only need the EMP and the anti-nade to finish out a fight there. Young and Beautiful did a great job at disengaging. So the fact that they got out so quickly means that if you look at the ult across the board for Team Gigantti, they weren't able to charge much up. Now, Zappit's going to have a Graviton online, but Jonas should quite quickly have the counter grab available for this. Huni's got a Transcendence to force this next fight.
Gonna have that available in the next engagement. Leafs just sitting back, looking for someone to come into this team, looking for the opportunity to press forward. Biding his time to get the rally. The armor pack being thrown out. Now the rally's online. He can pop that in the fight. He just heard Brigitte say rally, so he's gonna rally himself. Graviton pulls them together. There's the Transcendence, that interaction as expected. Sound barrier as well to come out. They got a nice little bit of overlap from Huni, who's still riding the Transcendence for now. Crown Drop with the Shatter. Gonna come online, throws it in, just on the side. Won't tag anyone on this occasion. But they're gonna pivot around the drum. Team Gigantti entering final fight territory. And Milky Man's got a Shatter. He might be waiting for Davin to hit that EMP because it's about to get online. Just needs to find and wait a little bit longer. But he's lost his HP. Gets the Nano Boost instead and presses forward. There's the EMP. Shatter to the side. There's nothing to block it out. And it's gonna be Team Gigantti dominating the fight and taking Sanctuary away from Yab.
Morphic does pick up Leaf, so it's potentially can continue this fight. I very much doubt it though, Tridd. If Jonah can get towards Graviton, maybe they continue it here, but look at the health pool so low across the board.
You're absolutely right, Blank. That recontest coming back in, but there's the Graviton from Zappis. He got it back in time. Young and Beautiful didn't want to go out that easy, and they're still contesting even now. Yickwood's at full HP on the point, trying to sustain Molf. He can't block out that damage with the defense matrix from Zappis. They will get demeched. The Baby Diva, not meant for this world. They finish off Yickwood's, and overtime went on for so long, it ends in a snap.
And we've got to look back to the very beginning of that fight to see where things went wrong for Young and Beautiful, is that I mentioned that Jonah had the counter grab available, right? And in that moment, you don't have a Diva falling on the side of Gigantti, so there's not the micro missiles either. So I don't really think you needed the Transcendence whilst the counter grab came out. You either chose one or the other, and I think that's a miscommunication from Young and Beautiful coming out, that someone didn't call it and they used both at the same time, because they either used the grab to continue the fight or the grab to counter and the Transcendence to force, and they didn't decide to do either there, and Young and Beautiful were just kind of out of gas at the very beginning of the fight. Now we come on to a mecha base. Map that's basically very much famed for being able to use that Mei. We've seen a little bit of the Ashe, but Morphig is pulling out here, trying to outrange the opponents. For Team Gigantti, really their whole goal here is to isolate a target, and Young and Beautiful just want to play as far back as possible and not allow Team Gigantti to come in range of them.
On this map, the flex tank seems to be the indicator you toggle before you make the turn. You're going to indicate how they're going to play. The Mei wants to get close, but Morphig on the Ashe wants to keep them at arm's length. And you already saw that Team Gigantti, they initially contested, went in there, and Yab were now going to be facing down this Diva that Zappis has switched over to because they know they want to close that gap.
Dynamite provides so much damage onto the whole team because it is AoE, so if you can get the eat on that, it's big, but that's a massive pick-off. 5v6 now effectively as Zappis goes down.
So that Dynamite is now free reign for Young and Beautiful without the defense matrix to eat it up. He's already got it on cooldown, fires it into the middle, waits for the bubble to expire, then takes the shot to try and get max damage out on the team. Takes Zappe off, who went for the flank with the orbs. Davin's in his sights at range, as Jonah will help the rest of his team get clean up on the point. Just need to take out Little Bo. But the silver lining for this one is Team Gigantti did get that first cap, so they're not walking away empty-handed.
No, they are not walking empty-handed away from this one, so they will get 18% on the board. The thing with not having the Mei, though, is now you can't dictate the pace, even though you are on the defense. Morphic, however, will have the bob up very shortly. He'll be able to contest the point for Young and Beautiful, so they'll still be able to play at that range distance whilst not having to worry about the point. Bob outputs 1,092 damage over the entire course of his ultimate duration, so Team Gigantti, they've got to watch out for that one, especially to play in the back.
Got himself that EMP, can bring that into, not the EMP, Transcendence coming into the fight. FD God taking a nap on the back, and that forces Huni to use it early. They want to keep him in the fight. So close to the sound barrier. That's going to be pivotal for Young and Beautiful. There's the 7th man joining the fight. Crowned up, looking for the right time to use this hammer. The shield's about to go. He drops it down and gets the damage to kill Milky Man in one go. Follows up with a pin onto Zappis, who's now bathing in that Transcendence from Zappe, which has just expired. Davin's got the grab, but if you're Team Gigantti, this is not meant to be. Back off, reset, go again, and use that ult to try and make something happen.
I think Team Gigantti put too much stock into the Bob. They were like really afraid of him. Lil Bo goes over to boop him out of the way. Leaf actually spent a lot of time bashing him as well to stop the output. But when you send your Lucio and your Brigitte away, you don't have that disengage tool to keep him away.
Zappis gets the eat. Zappis, nom 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 on that Graviton Surge, and Team Gigantti throw in their own to just guarantee they walk away with this one. They kind of have to. They're going to get the recap just shy of that final fight territory.
Such a fast fight, though, so Davin doesn't get too much charge towards that next Graviton, which means Huni can force the next fight using that Transcendence. And no defensive ultimates on the side of Team Gigantti means they actually have to be kind of scared of the Bob when it comes out. Morphic will switch across over to the Diva now, understanding that, look, Zappis is getting value on it. I need to get value on this Diva as well. And Morphic is an excellent Diva. He's pretty nutty.
Now Milky Man will have that Earth Shatter online. Zappa's going to have the bomb. Morph, having just switched over to the Diva himself, is going to play catch-up. They sit on the point and try and accrue more percentage. Nice and close. Fires it down. The protected barriers just soak up that Earth Shatter from Milky Man. Transcendence coming out the gate. The overlap in favor of Young and Beautiful, because Huni still popped that one afterwards. Crown drop now. Wants to find something to do with this hammer. A lot of people off to the side of the Reinhardt, but he has to block out the bomb. That is, of course, if you're Milky Man, but Zappis still finds 2. No one to cower behind, and they're exposed to the damage. Team Gigantti win another fight, and Young and Beautiful need to start feeling the heat.
Insanely good pin there from Milky Man at the end to ensure that the bomb did go through. Crandup was just ready in time to get the shield before he was slammed against the wall. Young and Beautiful, though, I think they were a little bit hesitant to take advantages there. Huni, obviously, you mentioned the overlap there. They had 2 full seconds extra of that 300 HPS. They maybe took advantage in that moment, but they decided not to. Now Young and Beautiful low on ultimate charge, but Team Gigantti even worse off. They have to make the flip now if they want to stay in this point.
Davin and Jonah neck and neck in the grab race. Gonna get that online nice and fast. Could we see an eat from the Diva to save the day? Davin priming up, waiting for the right opportunity. Crandoc's right in front of him, wants to burn through that shield, give advantage over to his teammate. Fires it into the right-hand side. No Diva in sight. The charge cancelled out by the grab, and a counter shadow coming in from Grand Drop. He's pushed off to the side. He takes Davin with him. Isolates him in the corner, and Jonah gets the melee kill. But it's Milky Man with the hammer on the back line, forcing Young and Beautiful back. Transcendence being traded out by Zappe. Hooney's about to get his online. This could be Young and Beautiful's fight to take. The self-destruct is there to make a dent into Milky Man's shield, but it won't break it just yet. To get the D-Mech on Zappis. There's no ults on the board for Team Gigantti. Young and Beautiful are looking to get the flip without the Transcendence, so they can guarantee the round.
Once they abducted Davin as well, he is so low on percentage now, and Hooney, he has the Transcendence. Cannot be sluggish with that one in the next fight. Has to use it offensively. Jonah also at the Graviton. Young and Beautiful in such a good position to take away this map and keep themselves in the series for Busan here. Team Gigantti, all they've got here is the bomb, and it has to be gigantic.
You're looking for it to come in big. Hooney right there with that Transcendence. We've already talked about the grab advantage coming in for Young and Beautiful. The point, they're letting Team Gigantti walk into it now. Jonah 3% away, sitting on that 40 charge, but Davin has to climb up. Shatter being dropped down. It's only Zappis. He had no D-Red Digits to eat that one up, and now they're sitting in it. They drop the bomb to deflect it, but Zappis got taken out in the D-Mech. Transcendence for the rest of Young and Beautiful to push them over the finish line. They boot Milky Man out of the way. The Shatter will still find no one, but the kill feed's looking pretty green, and usually that means Gigantti's in the lead, but it's not going to be this time. Zappis have switched over to the Wrecking Ball. They're conceding defeat at this point. Young and Beautiful going to force out that third round.
Made it back into this one right at the very last hurdle, 99 to 99%. Stall tactics here, but it's not enough. Young and Beautiful will take away Mecha Base. I think they were much, much better when it came to ult economy towards the end of that one, weren't throwing everything in at once, and it feels like those communication issues that we may have saw on Sanctuary there have been shored up a little bit here. Now, Team Gigantti coming over to downtown, and we know that Davin can play this Sombra where it's a lot more effective. There is high ground to play from. You get those hacks from up on above. You don't have to do it from the low ground here, so it's much easier. Morphig knows that as well. Switched over to Sombra too, so it's mirror compositions here for both teams.
Usually expecting, based on previous week's performance, for Zappis to take over the responsibility, but we've seen today, this is the new flex, this is the new flavor. Zappis,
the new thing,
coming in with the new hotness on that Zarya, and it's Davin who, in way before we went into this Goats meta, was the DPS player. He wasn't stuck on the Zarya himself. Milky Man and Crown Drop having that first clash, and the team's a little bit late to catch up and sit there in a clustered unit. Young and Beautiful taking the fight to Gigantti early, but Davin's actually been hacked out by Morph, shutting him down for a little bit longer in this fight.
Morph already in the backline there, and it feels like Davin took a little bit longer to get into it, but at the moment he's just bullying the front line, using that to charge up his EMP instead. A lot of great hacks coming up from Morphic so far, and Jonah, someone's been shooting the hell out of him. Already at 100 charge, he's doing insane damage.
Crandop's now hacked though, and this is lethal for him. FD God being caught up by Zappis. Milky Man had the bio nade, but you can see he took cover in the alcove to deny the kill potential to come in here, and now Team Gigantti erupt outwards up the stairs to try and challenge them. Crown Drop looking pretty isolated. Nanoboost pumped in. Milky Man threw down the shatter, but it's the EMP coming in from Davin. Will guarantee Gigantti the fight as long as they can commit to this one and push forward. Young and Beautiful now going for the reset.
Early EMP there, so Team Gigantti, they do take the lead very quickly, and they clean up that fight. 25%. Young and Beautiful on the other hand, now they've got the big combo, the EMP shatter coming into this next one. I think so far Morphic's had the much more effective hacks, but really Davin just focused all on getting that EMP much earlier, and the rest of his team supported him greatly by getting that early pick, allowing him to get that EMP through very safely. They have some ultimates on board, and it's really up to Morphic to get a really good EMP here, but you can see how split Team Gigantti are playing to make sure they aren't in the radius of that ultimate.
I don't even think he needs to use the translocator here, but he's going to throw it over the top. Alley-oop into the EMP. 3 members found out. Dynamic Boost goes out onto Milky Man. The Bionade shuts down any additional healing. The rally as well from Leaf to top everyone, and it stabilizes. It props Team Gigantti up against that offensive. Jonah now throws in the grab. Who's got the solution? It's Lilbo with the sound barrier. A return Graviton Surge onto Young and Beautiful. Zappis is now hacked up though, so he can't use any barriers to keep Milky Man safe. Crandop's just walking forward with Luxury, but he's the one who comes off worse in that trade somehow. And we're already talking about, you mentioned it at the opening of the show, the hacks from above coming in. Morph just holding around that platform, waiting for Gigantti to move forward into his hack range as they're looking to get the flip in favor of Yab.
Milky has a shatter though, use it now, lays everyone to bear.
Milky coming in. drops him on the back, but he still has to back off. This is fine for Team Gigantti. They have nothing to gain from this. They're the ones in control, and Davin swings in from above. The hack following up on the crown drop because Jonah was the only one caught. Yikwit's being caught out as well. Counter EMP coming in to find 5, and Young and Beautiful at 99% get the flip back in their favor.
But it's so many ultimates to make sure that they do stay in on this point. And at 99%, a well-placed hack into Anti or Earthshatter will close out the show for Young and Beautiful, so they really have to be aware of where they're playing now, Tridd.
Last chance saloon for Yab. They cannot lose one more fight because Gigantti will walk away with the round and that first map. Jonah about to get that grab online. And they're looking up into this high ground. Very condensed from Team Gigantti. There's no D.Va to eat this one up as well. So he could yeet this if he wants to. But they want to play conservative. They're going to try and use one and get it done. There's the charge coming in. They nano boost Brigitte. But it is a Bionade on top of it showing the healing. The counter grab comes out. And there's just nothing in the pocket for Yab. Team Gigantti run over the flower power. Shredded up in the lawnmower, will get the flip on the point and take away this round and map.
It was close, just like the shave on the grass there. Young and Beautiful. They're done and dusted on Busan. They won't be able to close this now. I think they allowed Team Gigantti to get so much space in the beginning there for free, so they just were unable to get those ultimates online. I think Davin played that really, really well. Sure, he didn't get the EMP online straight away, but in that situation, he has the much more effective one, and that closes out the show for them. Team Gigantti, I think they played pretty well throughout, but in that situation, Young and Beautiful just not able to close that one out there.
Still coming out swinging though. This series is far from over, so join us after the break. Hey everyone, welcome back to Contenders Europe. We're about to jump into map number 2. Paris coming on the screens real quick. Team Gigantti walking away with the first map, Busan. Did force out round number 3, so this is definitely, like we talked about last week anyway, strongest iteration of Young and Beautiful. Strongest showing against Gigantti so far. Fingers crossed it stays that way if you're out there spamming flower power.
Yeah, both teams are +3, so they're around about the similar place at the moment. So this is kind of what we expected, is that the control would go to all 3 sub-maps here. Now we go over to Paris, much more bunker-centric as we've seen so far. Who plays the snipers though here, and can Molfig play a decent Hanzo? Because you're more than likely expecting Jonah to go over to the Widow here versus the enemy team. But there's a lot of interesting stuff you can do on Paris. A lot of teams taking different approaches. Some teams even using the Reinhardt to deny a lot of the poke and then getting a Mei in there. So I'm very interested on what kind of compositions we're going to play here, especially with Team Gigantti's coaches saying that they're trying a new playstyle, they're trying a new thing. I think anything could come out here, and this is probably going to be an excellent map for us to watch.
Talking about whether Molf is going to play the Hanzo. False, trick question. They're going to play the Clockwork Vendetta comp. You're not going to see him at all on that hero. It's going to be a comp of Ice and Fire coming out from one of these teams, because that still has some favorable outcomes, but maybe it might not even be Molf playing this. He's going to stick on the Sombra. Is that Young and Beautiful potentially teasing us, tantalizing us with the old quad DPS?
Could be playing the quad DPS if that is what they're deciding to go with. Obviously, we know it's on attack, so they could change it at a moment's notice.
Of course.
So I think that it would be so good. It
is a bunker breaker, though.
It is a bunker breaker, yeah.
It's a bunker buster, right? So it does kind of lean that we may be seeing that composition. Let's pivot the focus over to Team Gigantti, though, because they're more definite at this point, right? So we've got ourselves the Orisa, the Roadhog,
Very
double
standard.
sniper coming in. But Zappis on the Mei. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Zappis can deny a lot of pressure from the hooks if Huni does decide to stay on Roadhog, just with the walls itself, because you don't have to use anything else, and even if he does throw out that hook, the wall will just be in the way. Now, Young and Beautiful, they're playing this triple DPS with Molfig on the Sombra. I think that's more for scouting purposes as he does go out, and now they're going to decide what to switch over to. So main shield break here is coming out from Huni and Yiquids on the Hanzo and the Roadhog, and FD God does switch over to the solo heal Batiste. We saw how strong the amplification matrix was before.
It's definitely going to help with the shield break when it comes to this Orisa duel, because it's all about breaking that shield and exposing the team, getting them out of sync with the cooldowns. It's Young Beautiful trying to find a way in. Nice Maywall shuts down the sightlines, tried to ease them through the gap. Davin sitting on the back line, but Zappy's already found FD God. The Immortality Field could not save the provider because the hook came in from Zappe.
Yeah, very, very good there to get him out of it.
Oh.
But they do pull in Zappe, and he does go down. They're in a protective position here. But again, they don't have any healing. The self-sustain is there for the Roadhog, but not for Krandop. And there's really no health packs in the way. Yiquid's going down too. Now they just hold up in this unfavorable position for them.
Krandop really needs some healing.
Ooh, almost
he needs a
got it.
paramedic. FD God's on the scene now, so he should be able to fix that for them, stabilize the composition. Doesn't have the Frisbee of the Immortality Field, so has to wait a little bit longer. If things go wrong in the near future, could be detrimental. There comes that Dragon Strike through the team, tries to divide them. The team's happy to split for now. Not an aggressive position coming out for Team Gigantti. Leaf, so close coming back into this one. But Yiquids finds Davin with the headshot.
Big.
And now they're put down with one-man advantage because there's range. Oh, comes in with the hook. Molf able to pick off Lilbo after he brings Davin back into the fight. They won't be doing that twice.
No, they won't. Now they're lacking healing. They can't quite pick him up, but Leaf is popping off in the back.
The Storm arrows are firing not one, but two snipers. As Zappe comes in and finds FD God as well, they retake the point. They're pressing on. Progress halted just after 50%. But Team Gigantti guarantee the issue. It's only a third capture progress to play with for Yab.
Team Gigantti are going to get a full good recontest here as well, because they can just go pick up Lilbo as he comes back from spawn and everyone get back to the high ground. So those picks that Young and Beautiful got mean nothing now. Sure, they got a tick on the board, so even if they don't pick up point A here, at least they still have a win condition in hand.
Well, silver lining, they're going to come in. Mega Man so far away from having that supercharger up. Molf just going to have to go back about 20 minutes. He's going to join us in a second when he gets out of that spawn room. Krandop very close to his one. You use the wall to prop him up. They even get the hook around here to pull Molf in. Mega Man still finds Huni. He's going to go down with the whole hog as Krandop can't actually get any more charge. He's not moving at all. Yiquids does have the Dragon Strike, but when you hook over to Gigantti, it's 4-2 when it comes to the ult game. Make that 5.
Yeah, not going well for Young and Beautiful so far. Team Gigantti in a perfect situation here. I think your major tool to push through this choke here for Young and Beautiful is Yiquid's Dragons, and the fact that when they do get to point, if they get to point, they have the Supercharger available to really force that objective.
You may not see it, but you can definitely hear it. The Dragons coming in from Yiquids, and it just buys time for Gigantti to move in. 45 seconds remaining for Yab, and their ults are starting to come online. They're going to fire a Dragon Strike through. It's going to burn more of this time back away and just stall out Young and Beautiful. Jonah pops the infra sites for this next engagement. Should help Huni and Crown.Dog potentially find a Halt Hook combo as they press forward and want to take this high ground. The wall won't find the isolation. It blocks them off. The Blizzard from Molf being denied there. That's just been absolutely wasted. That's a missed opportunity. Zappas still has his to use. Davin has the emphasize as well. Zappas moving into position for it. Leaf has already found Molf. The supercharge comes down. He drops it in the middle of all of them. Will be picked off to the side by Crown.Dog, but they're sitting frozen as Davin will find Jonah. Leaf takes out the Frisbee and the Bongo to boot. Young and Beautiful making some last-minute switches to try and contest this one.
Yiquid does pick up Zuppe, but Davin takes down the only healer on the side of the team. I don't think they're doing this, but Crown.Dog picks up Lilbo, so they're in a similar boat right now.
And Leaf will just walk forward now. Crown.Dog's found two. Fight can still go everywhere as Leaf jumps in. He's pivoting. He's dancing around the shield, but you can't block the melee out. They contest for Molf. Jonah comes in on the Tracer to take out Leaf. Just has Milky Man on the point. Molf doesn't have the HP to contest. He gets behind the shield, though. Nice shield break coming in. FD God walks in with the melee. Jonah finds Zappas as well. Hooney's here on the Doomfist to try and contest. Zappe may have to give this one up because there's no more reinforcements coming in. Young and Beautiful with the stall tactics to buy more time. The highly mobile heroes winning it out for them. But the MVP of that fight was the shield.
Yeah, Crown.Dog helping them from the grave, but he did an excellent job beforehand to get those 2 picks and then even take Leaf down to 12 HP. The Orisa is such an excellent hero at the moment because she provides so much point presence. With the shield, you can shield dance, fortify, giving you 50% less damage taken too. Team Gigantti now switching up. That's got to feel the burn right now. Young and Beautiful must be thrilled. Now, they're just playing cat and mouse with the compositions. They're just swapping it up here and there, making sure they're ready to go into this composition Team Gigantti is pulling out, which is full shield break. And now Team Gigantti, they're also switching. It's just mind games all over the place right now.
I am not going to talk about compositions until they make their mind up. I will not be made a fool of, Blank, by this rapid switching. And Young and Beautiful, they're in a similar boat because they're just going to commit to this one now. Playing around the passive cover. Crown.Dog presses forward. The wall does split off the team, but not enough. Zappe did find a sightline to Crown.Dog, but his shield was in position to block out that volley of those orbs of destruction. The wall coming up to split the team again. They've not sandwiched anyone in. You can hear a charge coming, but it just hits the block. Won't catch anyone on the back end. Won't find that burst damage. They're still on the point. This is an elongated fight coming in. But Gigantti about to get away with this one as Zappe finds Crown.Dog on the back line. He's taking so much damage. The stun comes in to block Molf's retreat as well. Now Yiquid's going to be caught out. That should have been one and done. But Team Gigantti finding the whole platter of Yab and milking them for all the ult charge they've got.
It was a smart switch up from Young and Beautiful there. I completely agree with the Moira 3-3 if it was going for that Orisa, because you can use the overwhelming sustain you have from the Moira not to play shield break, but just to walk past the shield instead and then make it in without suffering too much damage to that poke because there's no Diva Matrix on side. But Team Gigantti, they make the switches up here, and the Zen is so much more useful than the Moira, which is why we'll see Huni going over to it now. They were just able to close out the fight because the Discord Orb provides so many opportunities for frags. And honestly, Moira in an elongated fight, she just runs out of juice.
I think Yab are looking, obviously they want to take the point, but I think they may just be trying to get Gigantti to use these ultimates because they know they're going to be at a slight disadvantage with the late changeover from Huni, first the fight not going in their favor in the previous engagement. They're waiting for that right opportunity, try and force the issue for Team Gigantti, but they're playing very safe right now. Further back, they're going to force out a grab nice and early. They have to win this fast, but there's the beat coming in for FD God to reinforce Young and Beautiful and try and get something more. They still got 5 to burn through. Team Gigantti hold all the cards right now, and Yab are starting to catch up.
3 ultimates almost coming online, but the key thing is they're not quite there yet. Team Gigantti can take this moment to do something, but instead they're allowing you to accrue these ultimates. Out comes the grab here.
There they go. This is them pulling the triggers. They get it all online. Everything thrown at the team, but they're only going to trade off the back of the self-destructs. Big Shatter coming in to knock Team Gigantti on their back, but the kill feed's looking pretty dominated by Zappe right now, who's fairly free to run through Young and Beautiful. Davin takes the baton and crosses the finish line to secure another fight for Gigantti.
There's just no follow-up there after Crown.Dog lays down the hammer, and Huni potentially could have kept them in that one with the Transcendence there. You could see what was going on there, wanting to get the charge off onto Team Gigantti, make sure the bomb comes through, but Zappas so far has exclusively been using these bombs defensively. Very smart, because they know that Young and Beautiful are trying to close out the map here with the Grav Bomb combination. And if you can stop Crandop from getting that charge through, then you're never going to get the big bomb opportunity coming through. Team Gigantti, they are lacking on ultimates right now. Huni can't be sluggish with this Transcenders. Just use it offensively. Davin not quite at that Graviton as of yet. But the slower they play this fight, the more time he has to get it.
They can play this fight as slow as they want it. Is their last fight as Yab emerging through the back line. Did the old rope-a-dope around the point to come in. Going to be contesting this one. Yikwid's using that rally nice and early. Leaf still wide away from it as Milky Man will fight Crandop with that fire strike. And now the Transcendence from Zappe coming in to reinforce them. Huni will have the overlap, as well as Jonah with the grab to hold him in place. Davin working towards the grab of his own. They want to get the D-Mech on Moth. Look at the attention paid to him right now, so they can guarantee the safety as they're going to plant this one in. As soon as that Transcendence expires, they catch FD God and Yikwid on the overlap, and the kills are all there for Gigantti. They're going to throw in the rally for good measure. They have the bomb, but they're not going to need it. Team Gigantti going to shut down the full capture from Yab.
Again, Huni, so slow to pull the trigger there on that Transcendence. First, Crandop goes down. Then he lets the mech leave as well. And the mech was basically the win condition in that situation. You needed that Matrix. You need the Matrix, right?
That was the dam that was holding back the pool of water that was Davin's grab.
And then the ties just come on through. Young and Beautiful can't make it past that point B. Now, they have to hold on point A if they want a victory here. That's 4 long, grueling minutes. You have to hold on to Team Gigantti. And so far, Team Gigantti seem to have like the pressure when it comes to those fragging potential from Davin, from Zappis. Young and Beautiful, this is a tough road they've got ahead of them.
I said that just visceral... The visceral target calling there, just to go,
yeah,
Morph needs to die. And you just see the micro missiles from off screen coming in, because he's just got a diva, and he flies in close, just going everything to get rid of him. And what was surprising there was, even then you might panic and go, we got the diva, yeet grab it. But he still holds on to it because he wanted to make sure he had the maximum at that time with the Graviton Surge, when Huni's already stated late Transcendence, then expired to make sure they can just wipe him off, and it was a game-deciding ultimate.
You're so right, Tridd. It's like the patience from Team Gigantti so far has been really good. It's very happy to see from, especially from last week versus Angry Titans, where they were kind of throwing a lot of fights where they were very winnable for them just because they were using maybe too many ultimates at the same time. Now Team Gigantti, they seem to have been basically on point with all these little mistakes they made last week. They've made corrections here and there. Young and Beautiful, they've got a new player in, so it's understandable that they're playing maybe a little bit unconfident, but they need to bring it back now because this could potentially be 2 up in the series. Match point for Team Gigantti very shortly.
Lil Bo had a scout. He's going to come back, change it up for Team Gigantti. They were going to run with the Davin flex on to the Sombra. They're now going to go for the Ana Goats to match what Young and Beautiful are running themselves. We'll hold on this high ground, but actually, no, they're going to change it up again. They go back. They keep Zappe on the Ana, but they still want the switch around with Davin on the Sombra.
Again, this is where Young and Beautiful have to take an early engage here. You've got to decide what they want to do. They cannot allow Davin to get point presence here and draw them away from their objective on the high ground there. They've got to take a quick fight whilst they know Devon is in the background, but Jonah was sleeping.
Response. They're going to try and find the burst damage here, but the rest of Gigantti presses forward to protect Davin from that kill. Yikwid's on the back line, denied all healing as Crandop presses forward, but he's been enveloped by Team Gigantti, and they surround him from all sides and take him down as a pack. Now they press Young and Beautiful into the Mega Room and keep them locked there as Gatekeeper Milky Man stands guard. They've taken a third of the progress already off the back end of that. The bubble will be gifted over to Malf as he charges into contest and clears some space for Young and Beautiful to walk into.
They're providing time for Crandop to get back right now, and it's very dangerous for them. And Nanabu straight onto Jonah.
Giving it over from Huni. Moffat is then hacked up, and he got shattered as well. They threw all the CC at him. He's going to come back in with a bomb in a second to get some point clearance. But now it's Zappe's time to juice up one of his teammates. He's giving it over to the Zappis Zarya to burn through Crandop's shield, but he has to pivot onto Molf. Can't go for the fast remake. He's going to be caught out there, as he's just going to be caught in the Graviton Surge as well. But the rest of Team Gigantti have a sound barrier, and they may have thrown the grab, but Yap weren't touching the point. 6 minutes 10 on the time bank. This is disastrous for Young and Beautiful.
Literally disastrous. Coming into point B, they have such high snowball potential. EMP into Grav. You can close out this fight so quick for Young and Beautiful. And in the last fight, they used Earthshatter into Graviton. 2 ultimates that you ideally want to use at a different time together. Team Gigantti, massive opportunity. If they just want to wait for the shatter as well, this could be a monumentous push for Team Gigantti.
Molf cannot let go of left click. If he is hacked up, it is all over for them. Davin coming in here. He just has to try and get the hack onto Crandop. Will be denied if he has the EMP in his pocket. Going to have the Graviton Surge sitting there. There it is. Clears everyone out. They will still get the Nano Boost off on the Crandop and the beat to match. But they've already found 3. Young and Beautiful, they may not be able to contest the 33% as they all cower behind Milky Man's shield, but the deed's already done. FD God flies in with a recontest, but he's the last person there touching. They will find Yiquids coming in as well as the Doomfist, but they're cleared off just as fast as they can come in. They will connect the grapple hook for Crandop to stall it out. The pile driver comes in, but they're just trying to punch the water in the sea. They won't make a dent. Team Gigantti go 2-0 in the series.
They just spring completely back. Team Gigantti, they did not let up at all there. I think the pressure is getting to Young and Beautiful here. A lot of ultimates there being overcommitted into fights where they can potentially win just as long as they hold on to a couple of things. I think there they were fully focused on getting the win on point A. Like, we have to hold here, guys. We have to hold, otherwise we're going to draw. And they just overcommit. And instead of taking the draw, which might have been preferable to the loss there, take the loss instead.
Here, can you hold this? And for people who can't see what we're looking at right now, I'm passing Blank an L.
Yes, and
basically what just happened.
I have just accepted it because in that situation,
he's cosplaying Young and Beautiful.
I am, yeah. Well, come on. Thank you for the compliments. But
it's ironic cosplay.
Oh my God, evil. But Team Gigantti here, I think that majorly for me, it is just this ult economy which looks completely changed from the previous weeks. It's much more autonomous for the team. They're not using anything at the same time, and they're very, very calculating when they want to use it. I think that comes across very much there in that last push where they know what they need to hold on to and how they need to make that fight work. You saw a lot of time Milky Man being provided a lot of support to make sure he can clean people off the point, keep them away from key members on his team.
This is Zappe just sitting in the back safely. He always does this on Team Gigantti. If he's not challenged, he'll frag out. He's hungry. The orbs always seem to be like they're heat-seeking. They will still find their targets. Speaking of heat-seeking, Davin's tracking, absolutely on point there, just catching these highly mobile targets, flying around him and building up ults like nobody's business.
Literally lasering people down at the moment. Very hard to play against Team Gigantti at the moment. They look very, very tight when it comes to these compositions they're playing at the moment. Young and Beautiful, if they want to bring this back, I think that communications have to be sorted out, and they have to be sorted out pronto. Because at the moment, the overcommittal is just huge, and some of the mistakes they're making are crucial. A lot of the times, there is moments where, yeah, sure, there is some really, really good moments from them. We saw that on Busan. We didn't see so much on Paris. Hopefully in the next map, we can see more. But for the time being, we're going to take a break, guys. We're back with you very, very shortly.